So today I'm going to show you a river pattern that I use when the stoneflies are around, and there's one or two at this time of year. I've already loaded a hens, it's a 554 and it's a size 12 and it's a nymph heavy body. I'm going to use Vivus thread. This is a kind of light brown colour, any natural colour is fine, but try and get thread that splits or flattens out as you tie. I've got some nymph wrap body material. This is brown, this is a dark brown colour, and I've got some dark brown goose biots and some what's called pearly braid. It's a kind of flat pearly braid, and I'm going to use that for the thorax. So we'll take the thread, we'll start it in behind the bead, and we'll run the thread up to the point round the bend of the hook, just about there. Break away, and then once it starts to flatten out, just give it a wee clockwise spin, just to tighten the thread up a wee bit. I'm going to build a wee ball of thread here, just where it disappears around the bend. Just a wee tiny ball of thread. Oops. There you go. Like so. I'm now going to put the hook the proper way in the vise. In fact, I'll leave it just now until I get my biots on. And I'm going to take my goose biots. Now, these are brown goose biots, dark brown goose biots. And you can either tie them on both at the same time or one at a time. I prefer to do them one at a time. More control that way. Make sure you get the size there. And then make sure they're curving towards you. And then just tie them in there. Make sure you get the right length. Roughly about the length of the body. That's good. And take the second biot and tie that in on the opposite side. And you want to tie that in there, making sure it's the same length as the one that you've already tied in. And just check that for length. Pull back a wee bit there. There you go, check it for length and alignment, and that's not too bad. Get them locked in with a couple of turns, then run your thread up, and what you're looking for is that V shape. See that V shape there? That's what you're looking for. Run your thread all the way up, put the hook in the vise in the normal orientation for tying, and then run your thread all the way back up to inside the thorax. Take your fine point scissors and then just trim away those biots. Like so. That's perfect. And then just lock them down with a couple of turns of thread. You're well inside the thorax there, and what we'll do now is take your brown nymph wrap, right, this stuff here, and just catch it in inside the thorax there. Then pull it as tight as you dare to the side of the hook and run your thread all the way back up to the point where the goose biots disappear out the thread, just about there. Then run your thread all the way back down to about there. Now take your nymph wrap and you want to bed in the first turn. Make sure the first turn's nicely bedded in, and then what you want to do is take touching turns all the way back down. And as you go down, just gently loosen off the turns as you go down, and that gives the body a nice tapered effect, like that. And that's where the thorax is going to start. So take a couple of turns inside the thorax and lock that in there. Make sure you get at least 2 or 3 turns of silk round that. Take your fine point scissors and trim there, and then lock that in. And just tidy that up. Come all the way back up to that point there. Now, a tip for a thorax is, if you think you've got the right position for the thorax, take your thread slightly further back, because it always seems to end up further forward than you would hope. So take your flatbread and then just lash that on top of the hook there. Doesn't have to be too neat. As long as you can get rid of all those wee loose ends, you'll be fine. And take it to that point there. Now you want to spin the thread anti-clockwise to the point where you should be able to get a needle in there to split that thread. So you want to look for your fine point needle or the point of your scissors and split that thread there. That's perfect. Just split it there and then just run it down and just kind of leave it hanging there. That's fine. Now take your bulldog clip and some minky dub. Now this is minky strips, you know, for these minky flies that you use. And what you want to do is you want to catch about, I would say maybe about 10 or possibly 12 centimetres there, maybe about even 15. Oops, and catch the minky dub. So that what you're also doing is you're also catching just on the tip of the underfur. See that? Just about there. Catch that in. Take your fine point scissors and cut it away till you've got about 2 or 3 millimetres on the underside, like that. I'll take away some of those fibres now, got a wee bit too much in there. Something along those lines there. See that? So just where that underfur finishes and the guard hair starts is where you catch it with the bulldog clip. Now again, take the split thread and just take the split like so. Offer up the fur and making sure there's a couple of millimetres on that side, like so. There, that's perfect. Just kind of tidy that up a wee bit. Now what you want to do is you want to spin it clockwise. Spin it all the way around. And you'll see the body starting to looks almost like chenille, hairy chenille. It's quite a good effect. Keep spinning, all the way around, like so. That's it there, and keep going. And that's kind of the effect you're looking for there. See, that's almost like chenille with guard hair sticking out. And then just, you know, wrap a couple of turns like so all the way down to there and encourage it down the way. Just encourage it to come down the way. Take your pearly braid and lock that in with a couple of turns. Now just peel that fur down so that it's kind of sticking down the way, and any kind of, you know, loose fibres will come out. Now you want that kind of fur leggy, sort of sticky out effect. It's what I call leggy confusion, and you can imagine that tumbling down through fast water on a river, and it's kind of that effect you're looking for. You're looking for that sort of effect here. I'm just going to split these tails a wee bit there, like so. So if you look at the nymph there, that's kind of what you're looking at there. See that whole kind of nymphal sort of hairy effect there. Now take some of your proprietary varnish, your Sally Hansen's or whatever it is you use, coat the thread there, and then do a 3 or a 4 turn wet finish in behind the bead. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, like so. Take your fine point scissors, trim as close as you dare, and there you go, that's the finished fly. Now that is a cracking fly for, as I say, when the stoneflies are around. You can darken it down, you can make it lighter. It all depends on the types of stonefly you come across. It could be black, it could be olive, it could be brown, it really doesn't matter. That's just a pattern there. So go away, give it a go and let me know how you get on.